One of the main reasons why you may be having a hard time implementing long-lasting change into your life, I'm not just talking about changing and committing to a habit for a month or for a year, but changing who you are and your lifestyle is because of this one simple concept. You attract what you are, not what you want. If you would have met me 6 years ago, I was a completely different girl. I was about 30 pounds heavier. I was living a lifestyle that I really wasn't in alignment with. I was bartending. I was in the partying scene. I had hormonal acne. I was choosing the wrong relationships, and I didn't have my purpose in life. I didn't have something that I was excited to wake up to. And I started implementing this one concept, and it took me a few years, but it completely changed my whole life. I am the healthiest and strongest I've ever been in my body. I'm not in these yo-yo diets. I attract aligned relationships where it's an equal give and take. And the best of all, I feel like I am in my purpose. I am in my dharma, and I am excited about life. I get to use my creativity, and I get to live a lifestyle that gives me freedom rather than making me feel like I'm in a cage. As humans, we're pretty simple, but we like to make things really complicated. When we are focused on a red car, for example, you'll notice that you will start to see red cars all around you. Maybe you're like, wow, there's a lot of red cars on the street, or wow, maybe it's a popular color. But the truth is that what we focus on expands. So if you're focusing on something specific, I bet you're going to see a lot more of that in your life. So when it comes to changing not just your life, right, and attracting more of what you want, it actually comes down to changing who you are, changing the neural pathways within the brain and what highways you are on right now. So as humans, we're pretty simple. We just like to make things very complicated. But have you ever heard of that term, what we focus on expands? For example, if you are focusing on red cars, all of a sudden you'll start to notice that whenever you're driving or you're outside, you will start to be aware of more red cars than you ever were before. And this goes along with everything in our life. What you are focusing on will naturally expand. So if you're wanting to create long-lasting change in your life, if you're wanting to change who you are and embody somebody that can hold exactly what you want in your life, you're going to have to look at your day-to-day schedule. You're going to have to look at your habits. Because remember, we attract what we are, not what we want. For example, if you are wanting a healthy, loving relationship with a partner that takes care of themselves, is confident, is a good person, has good morals, and you best believe you need to also match that energy. You might meet somebody down the road that holds those qualities, but if you're not holding those qualities as well, it will not last. So in this video, we're going to do an exercise, and I want you to pull out a sheet of paper, and I want you to write down all your daily habits and get as detailed as you can. Do you start your day and immediately go to your phone and start scrolling? Do you have a morning practice? How do you talk to yourself in the morning? Are you instantly going over your to-do list or picking yourself apart in the mirror? So, like I said, you're going to want to have to look at your habits. And though it doesn't sound very sexy, consistency is the secret sauce. So when we're creating new habits, you have to think about it as a big open field. And when we first do a habit, a new habit, maybe we're going to the gym for the first time, you can imagine yourself walking through a field. And if you turn around, maybe you can see just a little part of the brush that is broken apart, but there's not a full path yet. So when you show up to the gym the next day, it takes a lot of effort to refine that path, to begin to walk it again. But every single day that you show up to the gym, your path, when you turn around, starts to get clearer and clearer. One day, maybe there's dirt. Then maybe the next day, there's a paved road with 2 lanes. Then before you know it, over time, right, probably at 21 days, a month's time, you will start to see a highway. We are all on highways in our brain. We're all on different neural pathways. You have to ask yourself in this moment, what neural pathways, what highways am I driving down? So we're going to do a little exercise. Pull out a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to write down your day. How do you spend a normal day in your life? All the way from when you first open your eyes to when you close your eyes at night. Get as detailed and honest as possible. For example, when you open your eyes, do you immediately go to your phone and start scrolling, or do you have a morning practice? Are you drinking coffee, or are you drinking water at first? Are you saying hello to your loved ones? Or are you going straight into work? How does your day-to-day life look? Are you taking lunch breaks, or are you working through your lunches? When you're going to bed, are you watching murder shows, or are you watching Netflix? And again, no judgment. Trust me, I am not a saint when it comes to this. Every day is a practice, but get as specific as you can. After you're finished with that exercise, I now want you to write down what you are wanting more of in your life. So maybe it is a healthy relationship, whether you're in one right now or you're single. What qualities does that relationship hold? Is there communication? Is there boundaries? Is there separation as far as your own identities in your lifestyles? How are your conversations, right? And then you got to ask yourself, when you get clear on that, right, using a relationship as an example, how are you aligning with those qualities? If you want a confident partner, do you feel confident with yourself? If you want a healthy partner, are you taking care of your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being as well? When it comes to finances, maybe you're wanting a more abundant bank account, but you have a big pile of debt that you're not looking at, or you hoard money and you don't spend it. You don't invest it into yourself. Or maybe you get a bunch of money and then you spend it all at once. How are you not aligning with a abundant bank account? What is your money story? Maybe you're really wanting to feel energized and healthy in your body again, but you're not aligning with those habits that you know that it takes. When you're building a new way of being, you have to get honest with where the gaps are. Where are you not walking the talk? Where are you self-lying? Where are you making excuses? And where are you not having any boundaries? When you're creating a new habit, remember, think about the field. This is going to take time. It's going to be uncomfortable. You might fall off the horse a few times, but the path will be easier and easier to find again the more you walk it. So now that you have written down your day-to-day life in an honest way, no judgment, and then you've gotten clear on what you want and where you're not aligning with those desires, I want you to now write down a new daily schedule. What would that look like? Does that mean that you have healthy foods ready to go in the fridge? Does that mean that you're in open communication with your relationships, or open communication with yourself and your self-worth when it comes to relationships? When I was single for about 4 years, and I was really trying to heal that relationship wound within myself because my figure it was a little bit off, if I'm being honest with you. So I had to rewire what was going on up here, right? Think about the red car. If I felt like I wasn't worthy of a healthy relationship, then I would constantly be confirming that throughout my day. So you're going to have to start rewiring the thought process in your head. What if you were worthy of a healthy relationship just as you are? Just because of who you are, not because you look different or you make more money, but because of the heart inside. And so rewiring what you deem of value and starting to create that new neural pathway through your rituals, habits, and this is the third part to this, your self-care practices, you will naturally over time start to attract in a more aligned partner. So going in with the self-care habits, the way you take care of yourself, the way that you invest into you, especially when nobody is there to cheer you on, your standards will be a natural byproduct of that. Let me explain. So if you're not showing up to your workouts that you commit to, or if you're maybe checking out through vices, right? Your standards in your subconscious will naturally decline. What you allow into your life, what you settle on, will be at a bare minimum because in your head, your subconscious is telling you you're not worthy of even showing up for yourself. I want you to get used to not only being alone, but I want you to get used to getting to know who you are. When you get used to being with yourself and comfortable just sitting with yourself instead of trying to fill the space, you will start to be more picky about what you allow into your life. And when this happens, you'll be so amazed at as you start to change who you are, everything that you've been desiring will start coming to you with ease. Of course, you might have to put in a little bit of work and meet it halfway, but it will start to appear. Opportunities will drop into your lap. You will attract it from the inside out. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this video helps. If you want more from us, you can always subscribe or visit our website, rechargethesoul.com, and maybe show up at one of our international women's retreats where we do an immersive transformational program that is bound to change your life.